Hey, Central Coast, this is Scott Van Pelt. You're listening to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy here on ESPN Radio 1280.
Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. So glad you guys are with us here. And got Dave Schmandl and Nikki Anderson in the studio with me. Mr. Billy Gibbs is away on assignment. He'll be back next week. I want to thank USGA. As you may not know, USGA is mostly known for their 14 annual championships and competitions. Their competitions are widely looked upon as the ultimate test in golf. A lot you might not know about the USGA, like their important health of the game solutions, helping golf course superintendents facilitate their reliance on water. Also, the USGA's handicap system, which levels the playing field. And along with the RNA in Scotland, they're modernizing the game's rules and asking us for feedback at usga.org. A lot to love about golf, and the greatness of the game brings out the best in all of us. At usga.org, don't forget to get out there and play 9. You don't have time. There's time to play 9 after work, before work, you name it. You probably have a lot more fun.
During lunch.
During lunch. I used to do that. I mentioned that we went down for the PGA Junior League, went to Laguna Lake last week for our last match, and I lived across the street from there when I was going to Cal Poly and working at Avila.
Oh, yeah?
And going out to Avila between classes was too long of a drive to get there, play, drive back. So I would usually have like a 2.5-hour break between classes. I'd drive home to my house, run over across the street to Laguna, play 9 holes in about 45 minutes, go back, grab some lunch, go back to school. And I did that over and over and over. And they've got those raised greens.
Yeah.
So you
good practice.
You got to know how to pitch the golf ball. If you're going to miss
Uh-huh.
the green, you can't really bump and run it there at all. It's too hard. But it was fun. It was fun to go back there. I
I
realized
used to play there a lot.
it has not changed that much. I was surprised.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't think I'd played there since probably the late 90s.
Well, there's not much they could change there.
No, but even the
They're
trees
kinda
that are there, they look
restricted.
the same.
Oh, really?
They don't look...
Like they've grown.
They're
on
not
you.
bigger.
No, they don't look bigger to me. Like some places you go back and you go, oh my gosh. Like, well, here's an example: Cypress Ridge.
Yeah.
When I go play with Nikki at Cypress, it's like you get on hole 17 and the trees have gotten so big, you literally have to hit it either over the trees, but the better shot is to go under them because the canopy goes across in front of the green now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
On 17.
Yeah, on 17. So if you don't hit it
Shows how long
high,
it's been since I've played there.
yeah, if you don't hit it high, I literally probably can't hit it high enough to make it land on the green and stick.
Yeah.
17 is par 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Downhill. Yep. Yeah, there's some big trees there
Yeah.
now at Cypress, really big.
And Cypress
Changed a lot.
also lost so many trees.
Yeah.
Boy, that
they
changed
did.
a lot.
They did. That was a shame. A lot of places have. Let's go ahead and draw. We're going to do loose impediment here, another topic. Let's go ahead and draw one of these. You want to call the show, 805-595-3776. Chime in, and you'll win a prize. You want to chime in on the loose impediment topic, or you want to play some Caddyshack trivia, call us at 805-595-3776. What you got there, Nikki? Oh, looks like that's one of Dave's.
Oh, here.
I fold them.
Yeah.
They all stuck together.
Okay.
I did post it.
Okay. Okay, Dave's getting esoteric on us. Why is there air?
That's the one I saw. That was cracking me up. Why is there air?
Why is there air?
So golf balls can fly?
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
PE major knows that.
Yeah. Airplanes?
No,
Yeah.
that was a Bill Cosby. He said he used to go out with this girl. She was so smart. She'd walk around saying things like, "Why is there air?"
That
And
is
he
so
said,
funny.
Every PE major knows that. There's air to blow up volleyballs.
Yeah. That's so funny. That was a good one, Dave.
Okay.
Didn't go very far, though, did it?
No, but that's okay. Short and sweet.
Who was the greatest golfer athlete of all time? Is that golfer or athlete?
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
Greatest golfer or athlete of all time? That's a great question right there.
Who is the greatest golfer?
And you know, whoever we pick, we're gonna get into discussion or the argument or discussion of the eras. What makes someone in one era better than the other?
Yeah.
Still got to go with Jack.
Tiger.
Are we saying athlete or are we saying golfer?
Golfer.
Golfer.
Wow. That's a tough one.
Still got to go with Jack.
The thing that makes me lean towards Jack is the equipment and the way the courses were set up.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up playing with woods and Bellata golf balls and non-Bellata golf balls
They were
and long rough with no hybrids and long irons,
Yep.
and you didn't have a choice. There's a lot more choices now with, and even in the early 2000s, whatever, late 1900s when, or, 1998 when Tiger's coming out, there's still a lot more technology then.
Yeah,
I say
it's,
from an equipment standpoint, I would say that it was Jack. I still think that Tiger's on par with him. But I would say from when Jack played, that equipment is that he used. And even to some extent, when you think about guys like Johnny Miller and all those guys, when you think about how, like when Billy and I saw Johnny Miller back in December, he talked about how he had 6 golf swings.
Oh, yeah.
6 golf swings with that equipment is insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane to me.
And for about 3 years, he was just unbeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in Arizona. He'd go to Arizona and shoot nothing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I look at that. I think that's maybe, one sport in golf that the equipment really does make a big difference as far as talking from era to era.
Yeah, that's true.
And
It's hard to compare
in
apples and
baseball,
oranges.
when you're talking era to era, you're usually more just talking about, the bats I don't think have changed a whole lot. The bats are the bats. The athletes have changed more
Oh, certainly.
because of what they do with their bodies or
Yeah.
legally or illegally. And that's where the era difference is. But I think the equipment with golf, for somebody to go out and play like they did, all those guys, Arnie and Jack and Johnny Miller and Sam Snead and Ben
They were
Hogan.
shooting 61s.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you really think about it.
Of course, they were playing 6,500-yard golf courses.
I don't care.
They were shooting
That's really hard.
unbelievable numbers.
I mean,
and
go out to Paso, which is 6,200 from the tips.
Paso
not-
is the longest 6,200
Yeah.
on the planet.
But imagine going out there with butter knives as irons and play with a Bellata ball.
I remember playing that course with
Did you really?
Persimmon, yeah.
And Persimmon Woods?
Persimmon, and yeah.
Wow. I mean, that to me is a test. Like, that's a real test of golf. And I'm not saying just to pass. I'm talking about anywhere. If you go out now and you actually had Persimmon Woods and you had real blade irons from the 70s or 60s, and you had to play with the conditions, and even if you play like Paso has rough. So, imagine going and playing imagine going, Nikki, that time we played Spyglass. What if you played
God.
Spyglass with that equipment?
I did.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh, the rough.
You
that
talk
day.
about wanting, like we talked earlier, like I'm done. After 3 holes, I would walk off. There would be a point where I just go, okay, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I just, this is not fun.
Well, that course wasn't designed to be fun.
I love
No,
that
but
course, though.
That was designed
it's
to
tough enough it is
torture.
with the modern equipment now, Spyglass is. I
Yeah.
can't even imagine going out there with straight up blades from the 70s and 60s and those golf balls.
Well,
I'm sure it would be if I could go into it with an open mind and go, look, this is just to experience
the
it,
way
right?
it is.
That's fine. But if you're telling me we're playing in a tournament, I'd be like, oh my God, I'd be a lot of emotion there. I don't know if I could handle that.
well, but when I did, play those courses with those clubs, was high tech at the time.
yeah. I think that
and
shows.
someday somebody's going to say, God, remember when they played with those titanium drivers?
Yeah.
God, how could they hit those?
Yeah, it's true.
We do some PJ trade-in stuff for. I help the first tee with that. They get clubs donated, and then you can trade in the clubs and get cash. So some of the stuff that gets turned in
Oh, yeah.
is older stuff. And when you say older, I'm talking like late 80s, early 90s. And even that stuff that I look at, I go, oh my gosh, I had that club.
Uh-huh.
Like, how did I even how did I hit good solid drives? How did I do that? I go, I guess you just do it.
What you
Yeah.
had.
It's what you had.
Oh, somebody, like I said, though, someday somebody's going to say, God, how did they hit those titanium drivers and cavity back irons? My God, those are too
But
hard
isn't
to hit.
that amazing
They'll come
when
up with something.
when you think about that? isn't that amazing that there is, like, it's hard to see forward. Like, where could golf equipment possibly go from here?
Well, somebody thought of steel shafts. Excuse me. Somebody thought of steel shafts. Somebody thought of graphite shafts. Now they're going to come up with air shafts.
Wireless shafts?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's pull on. We got Henry. Welcome to the show. Henry, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Great conversations this morning. And talking about athletes, I look at Bobby Jones's instructional videos from the past, and you can still see those. What talent he had, and he had equipment worse than Jack's, and on Tigers.
Good point.
That guy could hit the ball. There's always going to be guys who can strike that ball properly, and that's a key. And so eras do change, and it's hard to compare, but those guys were competitors both eras.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So what was so Henry? When did you start playing?
72.
Okay, so what were your clubs in '72? Do you remember what you had?
Well, yeah, I started off with Gene Sarazen irons, those Stroke Masters. I got those,
Nice.
and I got them at a pawn shop, and I had the 2 through 8 and the wedges.
Oh, you're the one that
wedges.
bought my old clubs.
Nice. That's awesome.
And it came with a nice cart, too. But I lucked out, and I got persimmon woods early on. I got those. They came with Iomatics, the Super Iomatics from McGregor.
McGregor.
A set of 4, and there was a great. You could hit that 3-wood really well. I couldn't hit the driver because the head seemed so big.
It was
Then I ended up getting some other Iomatics. Those are great, and they were different than those laminated woods that people used to have to buy back then. It took forever for me to make that switch, and then when I finally got in, boy, the clubs are so much better nowadays. They're so much more forgiving. It's a different game, and so of course you play better nowadays. The equipment has made a big change.
And it's funny how they say the score hasn't changed much. The average score for players hasn't changed. But it's funny to hear you say, Henry, that back in the '70s you had a club that was too big.
And it was.
Yeah,
because that's
the driver.
Well, that's what, like, when I started playing, which was like the real early '80s, like '81. That equipment seemed small to me then. And I remember my eye like looking at different clubs, and I liked when the clubs were small.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why,
Small
but at the
head.
time, as I learned to play through the '80s, it was like the smaller, more compact iron heads, the more compact looking woods I liked better.
Yeah.
I didn't like
I
if
did
they
too.
were if they were elongated or like really tall. I didn't really like those for
No.
some
Yeah.
reason. So
Yeah.
And those, the Super Iomatic and the George Bear, which was also a McGregor, those heads were huge,
it's so
which is
interesting.
about the size of a 5-wood nowadays.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up too, Henry, because I was going through my garage the other day. I think I mentioned this. Actually, it was like a couple weeks ago, and I still have the first set that I actually worked for and bought on my own, which was the Wilson goosenecks, and they were technically they were called blades, but they were big. I had no idea
That was
how
an oversized
they were
head, yeah.
tall. They were like tall blades, and I looked at the pitching wedge and I go, that literally is the size of a spatula face. It literally is that big. And the leading edge on it is so sharp. I'm like, how did I even hit these things? How did I swing these?
I'm surprised you didn't hook the heck out of them.
Yeah. I mean, and I had the set I bought was a 3-iron through a pitching wedge.
Okay.
I didn't get a 2-iron because I know at that point I had some kind of a driving iron, like a Northwestern driving iron, I remember. And it actually had a little, it had a speed slot in it, which is so funny because
That's the big thing now.
that's the big thing now. And it was a speed slot with no filler. So you could see the face, and then the underneath the sole had the speed slot, and you could look right through it, and I could like hold it up in front of my face and see Nikki through the speed slot. And so, like what Dave said all along, he's like, that technology, like when we start talking about speed slots, Dave, you're like, that's been around forever. They're just recycling.
Yep.
So, hey, Henry, thanks for the call, man.
One more thing.
Yeah, when we go out to dinner, Henry.
Those woods, I haven't switched to the.
He
I'm
ignored
still stuck on
didn't
the
he?
3 and the 5 woods, the fairway woods. I just am.
You do what now?
I'm still stuck on the 3 and 5 woods. I haven't transitioned to the hybrids. I don't know why, but I'm still feel comfortable. Like Nikki, I still feel comfortable with those fairway woods.
So you don't carry any hybrids at all?
No. I have
Interesting.
the 3, 5, and I have a 7 wood too for 175 yards. And I keep it. I keep that long iron just so when I happen to get under the trees, I can punch out with that thing and let it run. That's why I keep that long iron.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I play it back in my stance, and the stuff that we learned from Vern back years ago. I keep that for punching out from underneath the trees. That's all.
Hey,
okay, thanks for the show.
Cool. Hey, thank you very much, Henry.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Henry.
Talk to you later. And with that, we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we got a little bit more. If you want to do trivia, call 805-595-3776. We can do Caddyshack trivia or other trivias. We can do another loose impediment topic. You got to remember, because last week, the 2 weeks ago, I forgot. This next show on August 5th, we'll be drawing the winner for the Hanger Golf Training Aid contest. You got to visit golftalkradio.com. It's absolutely free, no purchase necessary. Just visit golftalkradio.com. Fill out the trivia form to enter the Hanger Golf Training Aid contest. You can check out the Hanger Golf Training Aid at golftalkradio.com. Then at the end of the month in August, we'll have draw a winner for the Orange Whip Wedge. And you can check out, just put Orange Whip Wedge in Google, and you'll see it. Actually, very cool little training device, kind of a heavier wedge that kind of trains you on how to use your hands and what you should do there. But Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy will be right back right here on ESPN Radio, so you guys stay right with us.